This tank here was a hospital tank, but the fish are completely cured. It's time for a new setup, but I have to clean it first, it's disgusting. Cleaned that up in about 15 minutes. Much easier when there's no substrate in it, but we cleaned it before we used it as a hospital tank, and now we can get building. So a quite common theme when I'm setting up a tank, as you can see here, is that I tend to lay the hardscape in the middle of the tank and leave the back area open for stem plants and other taller plants. This can mean that there's not a huge amount of swim room in the foreground and the midground of the whole tank. But that is not what we're going to be doing on this one. So what I want to do in this one is set the hardscape really far back in the tank. What this will do is it will create a framework for us to be able to put really cool epiphytes on that will climb right out of the tank, but it also means we'll have that really nice big beach there at the front as well.
Excuse me. Better.
So now, having put all that in, I'm going to take it all out because I want to do a little substrate system at the back. There's not going to be many planted plants, but still going to need some nutrients under there. I want crypts. I think crypts will look really good amongst it all.
Not many planted plants?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Are you okay?
I don't even know what that means now I've said it. I mean like stemmy plants.
Oh, right.
I think that's what I mean. But they're all plants though.
I was worried that you were ill or something.
Right, so I've just gone in my supplies and got a load of old gravel, there's a bit of aqua soil, a bit of everything there. I'm going to use this as a base layer. Got some nice sand to go on the top as well. I've also got some other sand that's got a bit more texture, so I'll mix all that in together. But first of all, we need this. Building the substrate system isn't that exciting, but it is an important part of the process. I always like to put a gravel down first and then mix the nutrients into that. It tends to allow water to flow through it, flow in inverted commas, but really seems to stop any nasties building up. I've broken down tanks before and there's no putrid smells or anything like that, so I know it does a good job. But this part of the process is key because without nutrients under the sand, the plants will not have anything for their roots to feast on. It is important though to cap the top of it, and that's why I always use the sand. It will stop any of the nutrients leaking into the water column, which can cause nasty algae outbreaks later on, and also murkiness to the water. This should stop all of that. So now that we've got that all locked down, we can now place our hardscape back in, hopefully the same. Oh, still a bit of plastic on this one from the label.
Not anymore.
Very surprised that broke in my hands. So yeah, it was something like this. So as far back as I can get it. And this one was just to the side of it. And I think this one somehow, something like that will work well. So this bit here is really sort of flat and unnatural looking, but we can put rocks and plants in this section so it won't be. Maybe I want something up here as well, and a few more areas where we can attach plants into without having to sort of stick them to the edges. Because I want plants coming all at the top, all in the top section, and then that real sort of open look at the front. So we looked up the style that we're going for, which is like a river's beach, if you like, but it's not called a beach. It's called a littoral zone, or a shore. So just like the beach. But littoral zone sounds kind of like its own thing, so we're going with that. And then in those zones, you have like rising water levels and sort of dropping water levels as the tides come in and out. So you have like plants up in the top section, some in the middle, and then that sort of coarse to sand at the edge. And that's the different thing about this tank that's from all my other stuff, is going to be coarse at the front and then it goes into the sand. I think I have the perfect sticks.
Goodness me.
Oh,
Goodness me.
this can work though.
I was literally about to say that.
Now this area here, look, if I can get that in, it's going to act as like a basket for plants. And similarly, over this way as well. I mean, it's kind of all going in a similar way. So I just want to add a little bit of sort of opposite to it. Actually, that'll work well because I can catch my root systems in here for the plants coming out the top. That looks quite cool. So obviously there's a big gap here, but it's going to be good to have some negative space, and it's just off center, which is good. So if we've got like a dark patch looking through, it'll make the whole thing look like it's deeper. So rocks that we're going to use, sort of, I want a big mix. I mean, they all need to be sort of similar style, but coloration, like down in rivers, stuff just gets pulled down glacially and stuff over the years, deposited. So I'm going to mix it up. I like that. That's got character. Going with that to start.
That is a nice boulder.
This one's similar as well, but slightly different colour. I'll start with those. Look at that, how it just follows the arch. And it's going to weigh it down.
Got another one.
Yeah, that's mega.
It is.
Maybe we go with it. That, too many, 2 4s, just 4, maybe in the gap behind. I would like a smaller one here, but you're gonna see stuff like that. You need to not worry about it too much. Just change the color settings for the Chihiros light up here. And just, you can see it's a bit more of a actual sunlight color now, 6,500 Kelvin. But I also then remembered that I wanted this as a negative space, and currently it isn't, so I want to make it one. So we can get this to go down a little bit more. There we go. Now we've still got that gap in the middle, which will look good. Now also, this capping sand that I've put in so far, it's not quite the color I actually want the finished like top layer to be. So down here I've got some more to sprinkle over the top. Stefan annoyed that I opened it upside down. Yeah, under the light, look, it's a lot more sort of beachy, and it will probably mix in quite nicely as well. Thing is, it's such a like completely clean look. Everything's equal grain sizes, and to me that's not doesn't really scream river, does it? So I've got this one as well, look, and as you can see, it's a darker colour, but there's lots of little flecks and different pieces in there. So I'll mix them both together and give us a better look. Oh, I'll have to get my brush.
Ah, yeah, trusty.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a nice paintbrush stance you've got going there.
I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm doing this for the camera because I find it far easier just to waft it off when the water's in there. There we go. Tell me that doesn't look like a beach. But remember, we were doing a different look to this tank, and we need to get all the pebbles and details that I want in the very foreground, and then it sort of just tapers off to sand, like the opposite of what I usually do. So these are my selection of like different bits and bobs, just stuff that hasn't really got a bag anymore. I really like this. That's a cool look for sure, but I need like larger sizes of it as well, so it doesn't look so just one-sized. Now hopefully we've got some pebbles at the bottom of this that I can pick them out from. So far we've managed to find 2.
It's going well.
Maybe I mixed the colours as well. Okay, so I think quite a lot of the pebbles have been used in other tanks. So I'm gonna go around and just like grab certain ones, because otherwise it's gonna be pretty bare. Now at this stage, I'm not even sure about this myself, but we're going to persevere with it because it might look good, but also get the next layer of stonage down.
Stonage. You all right?
I think I ate my lunch too quick. A bit of a course of sand to start with. We've got the Rio Shingu, which is completely variable grain sizes, which should fill in the gaps, but it's filthy. This is why we wash it. So obviously we've got deep part of the river here, fast flowing water. It's stripped the sand from that area and it's sort of placed it up at the side, but there would still be some of the finer gravelly bits dotted about as well. Try and get it looking a bit more real without taking away those definite sort of areas. I think it works quite well. Bring this one up a little bit so it sort of follows the natural line of the rocks. Something a bit different.
Bam a lamb, oh Black Betty, bam a lamb. Do you want some jam? Bam a lamb. Strawberry
No, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, bam a lamb. Nice.
So as I was like pouring some of that Rio Shingu in, I put a couple more of the rocks together. I think it actually looks better. So let's just do a couple of clumps, you know, rather than having. Oh, that's the beauty of it. Look, you just bang it back in.
Technical term.
I've gone Colin Furze there, haven't I?
We were just watching it.
Maybe this one comes over a bit as well. Am I fiddling too much? I probably am. Leave it. That looks good. I like it.
What's next?
Next is getting some plants in. It's time. It is time. And I'm going to start with all the epiphytes. Have we got some? We got loads.
Yes.
They're all quite, like, I have had these, they're not looking great. Probably like 7 months, if not longer. Those big ones look good though.
Yeah.
A couple of them aren't great, but we've got loads in another tank as well. We've got loads. Look at you. You're on it today. Come at it. Come at it.
Back to the rainbows.
The rainbow tank is just too chocker. It is like my breeder for Java ferns that just look great. And because they've like grown from babies in my water, it means that when I transfer them to other tanks, they stay looking just as good as that, and they just continue to grow in the new tank and in this one. So I'm gonna like thin this out quite a bit. I think I wanna do something different for them soon. They're way bigger than when I first got them now. Like proper rainbows. Look at the size of this one now. When I got it, it was like the end of my finger. Bosemani. Sorry, buddy.
Bob Marley?
No. And then this Bosemani here is a different type. It's more of the fire one. So the back's more orange than yellow. It's got a bit more blues in it as well. I
love the colour of those.
Yeah, some of my favourite fish. They're not massively popular though. Like, you've got to be really into your fish to like rainbows, it seems. And I think that's because when you buy them, they do not look like this at all. They're like quite sort of blandy looking, and eventually you get all these colours coming out in the fins. But it takes quite a long time for them to get to this stage.
There he is.
Double tray.
Double tray.
Right, I'm going to be brutal. Take out quite a lot of this. There's a big bit.
Whoa, look at that.
So there's some dodgy leaves and that on it, but they're fine. They've actually got babies all attached to them. So I'll just keep it all together. It's all good for the tank. This is a good bit here.
Just a small amount.
I'm going to push this stuff all back, lock it back in, and it can regrow.
Right, it's completely opened up the front of the tank, hasn't it?
Yeah, they needed that. It's big now. I'll just take off this whole clump.
Oh, that's different, isn't it? Different species.
Yeah, this is Windeloff.
That's nice, that.
Yeah. So now it's a case of just picking some good areas. Good thing about this wood is it's very easy just to get everything in. So I can split this in half, cover on what area. Get one in there. And obviously this is all grown without CO2, so you don't get the absolute perfect sort of leaves that you do with CO2, but they do look really natural. Look at that. Like this one's fallen off, but it's okay because it's still got its rhizome at the bottom where it's all grown from. So you just got to poke that in a hole somewhere and it will keep going. Got a nice little one here just for some little accents. Look at it already though, look. I put 3 big bits of Java fern in. Now, obviously I'm fortunate enough to have these, but they were all grown from single little pots. And you could do the same. You might not get the look straight away, but within, I don't know, 4 months or so, it'll be massive.
Massive.
That looks cool at the moment. Maybe I want more Java ferns, maybe not. I think I'm gonna move on to something bigger leaf now. Look at these Anubias, so nice. So this is coin leaf. It's from Tropica. I ordered a load of them a while ago, and they are a little bit more of an expensive Anubias, but I don't know, I think they're cool. So we've got those. I've got a big mother plant here of just normal Anubias as well. That's been growing for ages. And then we've got these big ones as well.
There's a huge one in the Mabuna tank.
Oh yeah, there isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got loads. Yeah, because this isn't even supposed to be in here. We just put it in here temporarily, but that'll be perfect now. Completely forgot about it. Fishies out? Yeah.
There's 2.
There's 2. Oh, brilliant. Let me trim off all the sort of dodgy leaves. And these guys are getting their tank back until the next tank breakdown. They don't mind. Yeah, some of these leaves aren't great because they've been munched at, but new ones will regrow. And you know, at the edges of rivers and things, you're not going to get always perfect leaves. So we're going for realism here. Right, I see a little spot because we've got this big flat surface here on the wood, which doesn't scream realism, does it? It screams, I've been cut up. And that in there, I think will work well.
So the Mabunas had a little go on that, have they?
Like, if any of the leaves weren't doing too good, they'll start to sort of die off on the corners, and where the plant goes soft is where they will eat. So, you know, any healthy leaves, they don't really touch.
Anubias is quite leathery.
I imagine it's got a bitter taste as well. Let's try it. So this was out the water, and all those leaves like that, you can see is just where it's directly hitting the light. Like I say, it's all going to grow back. Like, these are new leaves that have come underwater. But I don't mind that, it's a fringe plant. getting some of the rock wall off. It's quite entangled because they've been there for quite a while. There we go, then we've still got our negative space. Cool. So much swim room.
I reckon I could swim in there.
Then we've got this Anubias, which is heterophila, which works really well growing out of the water. So this will be right near the surface. That's a lot of rock wool. Look at those thick roots. So yeah, so far there's no actual plants, like planting plants, it's just epiphytes, which will pull all their nutrients from the water column, and we're gonna get great flow through there as well, because it's not like been crammed in between gaps like of rocks. So they'll get really good nutrients close to the light, they're gonna do great. And now I wanna put some actual plants in, and it's gonna be a little bit shaded as all of this grows. So I'm gonna go with crypts, because they grow really well in low light. So we've got a crypt flamingo, I think that one is there, that'll be cool. Then I've got another crypt, which I've lost the label for, but
Looks the same.
now let me check. So if you look at the difference between the stems, there's loads of pink there. I think they're similar.
Same genus.
Yeah, but the leaf texture as well is slightly different. They often all can like look pretty similar when they're out of water, but they grow different. Just trying to see what other crypts I've got. Might have to steal some from some tanks. My favourite. And I often find that in low-tech setups, and by low-tech I mean like the light isn't blasting in and you haven't got CO2, I often find that if you keep the plant as a whole rather than splitting it up, it does a lot better. I don't know why. I don't know what the science is behind that. Something to do with all the roots sharing the nutrients maybe. But yeah, I just found it to be the case. Just pinched some flamingos out of, well, some flamingo crypts out of this tank. They're still brown in this one because it's so low down from the water. Hello buddy, can I just borrow these? I've still left some for them to grow. Yeah? Cheers. So this is a load of Anubias petite. Again, this was grown from one piece a long time ago, glued to that rock. And now we've got this. I say a long time ago, it's probably about a year's worth of growth. So you can see if you start off with like 3 or 4 pots, in no time you can cover a 4-foot tank. And most people are gonna have tanks running a lot longer than I am. At the end of the day, I'm a content creator, so we rotate stuff, well, pretty much every year. Used to be quicker than that, but I've got so many tanks now I don't have to do it so often, which is nice. And it means I get like amazing plants like this. But don't be disheartened. Like if you haven't got stuff this big already, it will get there. And this is with no CO2 as well. It'd be even quicker with CO2. Look at that, just there. Still gonna get a nice bit of light. Oh, it's booty. Little Java fern in it, that can stay there.
Looks so healthy, doesn't it?
Yeah, the odd little bad leaf, but that's fine, that's how it works.
That's life.
And again, this amazing boost. Look at the size of it. Look what it's attached to. One little rock, because it was one plant. No CO2, you don't have to have CO2, and it hasn't got really special lights on there either. So you just gotta be a little bit patient, unlike me.
Namaste.
And that'll sort of float up then with the water as well. I'm still not quite done. I want to put some other plants in, but I want to fill it up now before we put in our like this. Because I literally want it coming out of the water like it's on the riverbank. But it's going to take a time with that, so now I can fill it up and then you can just relax a bit. Right, we're filled up, and the good news is the filter can be just flipped across. I mean, I should probably turn it off first, actually.
That'd be a good idea.
The little one can come straight round like that. I want to have it near the front so that we get really good flow in the tank.
Oh, there's spiders down here.
There will be spiders.
Oh, there's spiders up here too.
Fortunately, in our country, no spiders are poisoned. Well, not to the point where they're going to do any real harm.
Apart from this one.
Apart from that one. You lifting?
No. No, I am.
Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Bringing it round. Can you come any close? No, that's good.
Can I put down?
Yeah. I think we cleaned this not that long ago, so we should get some pretty good flow. Might give it a clean out anyway, just a pre-filter. Right now, we've run out of time today, which is good because this can take a little while to clear, and then we can come back tomorrow and do the finishing touches and go get fish. Fish tomorrow.
Fish day.
It's only been a couple of days since we've been there, but we're back again. Oh, one last thing. If I lift this now overnight, we'll take off any of the surface scum as well. That'll just go back down in the filter.
Handy tip 101.
We're filled up. It's clear. It's so clear. But it's now time for details. So to start with, I'm going to use some dwarf sag. This has grown really, really well in the rainbow tank, but it's not the look I wanted here. Some of the bits at the back are quite long because they've been in the shadows, but the foreground one's a little bit shorter. I'm going to clump a plant weight around the roots, and then I'm going to place it in the back section so it grows nice and tall in that blank area. We'll just fill it out nicely. And then I'm going to use the shorter ones all around the perimeter just to break up the harsh edges. I've also got a couple of smaller ones. There's a little island in the foreground just to bring your eyes there a little bit more than they currently do. I also want some nice grassy textures, so I'm going for some Liliopsis brasiliensis as well. I've got the in vitro version from Denali Plants, which I find to work perfectly in the foreground. They're always tight and compact, and you get a lot in the pot. I'm going to use 4 pots here and just dot them all over the place, and eventually they're going to sprout and grow where they want. But it'll just tie everything in nicely and give a real natural look. And then for some added details, I'm going to go for some mosses as well. I've got Christmas moss. This looks good straight out of the pot, but I like to break it up into small sections and stick it onto rocks. That way we can place them wherever they want. If they grow too big, we can trim bits off. It just makes it all a little bit more controllable. You can see here I'm using super glue gel and a reactor spray onto the rock. When the super glue comes in contact with the reactor, it causes an instant reaction, meaning I don't have to wait at all for the moss to be stuck to the rock. Now that's just my impatience. You don't actually need the reactor, it'll just take a little bit more time. But we're busy, we've got to crack on, right? We're ready.
For what?
For fish. It's done. The details, everything. I think it looks great. We've got our really cool negative black areas. The fish are really going to stand out in front of those as well. We've got already like mature filter. If we didn't, I'd be adding in some beneficial bacteria and like properly monitoring it every day. I'm still going to monitor it, just, you know, I don't need to be as cautious because that has been running for a very long time. So we can go get a good amount of fish as well. I just want to go for it. I just want loads of interesting species, stuff happening here, there, and everywhere. Let's do it.
You are excited.
Yes, as you know, Stefan, and you might have seen in this video, I have been ill the last 2 days filming this and really low on energy. But now today is the first day I feel good, which is good because it's fish shop time. Don't know what that was.
Thank God you've been an absolute miserable.
I'll have to bleep that out. The bean. Everyone loves the bean.
Huh?
Goodbye, Snot Rocket.
See you soon.
Wow.
Here we are again.
Such a nice day.
Isn't it?
After this, we'll go pub.
All right.
Just a quick pint.
Just a quick interlude.
It's just as soon as the sun's out, I'm like, let's go to the beer garden. It's just, is that an English thing, do you reckon? The thing is, when you walk behind me like this,
Yeah.
it always looks like we've had an argument.
We haven't, don't worry.
Right, we're back at Maidenhead. First thing you're going to notice is like most of the tanks have got green in them. It's not algae, it's not lack of care. That is like medication. They've obviously had a delivery in, and then they always medicate fish before they're sold on, which is good for everyone, including the fish. But we don't know what we actually want yet, so I'm just going to take a look around. I want something a little bit different to what I've got in the other tanks, but nothing crazy. I don't want to go for any special fish. It's not really my bag. There is one fish that I'm hoping they've got, and Cheryl and Martin are just doing like a little, I don't even know what they're doing. Martin's teaching Cheryl something, but I'm going to look and see if they've got any denison barbs. I've never had them, also known as torpedo barbs, but they look so cool. Steph, you don't even know what they are, do you?
Nope.
I'm going to show you. So we've got a whole new section here that Martin and Cheryl have set up, which is the temperate community. So you didn't want to call it cold water section because people get confused with that. It's not necessarily cold water, it's just more like room temperature. Like cold water fish would be white cloud mountain minnows or rainbow shiners, something like that, that can get down to seriously low, like 2 degrees. But temperate means you won't need a heater in your tank effectively. Doesn't matter in a studio, they'll still do well as well in like slightly tropical water. So yeah, we've got a choice of everything today. So yeah, we've got the full tropical community. These are all new labels. That's quite a good idea actually. Keep the sections like very clear. Only thing is, I'm not seeing any denison barbs, which is a bit of a shame, but not the end of the world. Could be something to add at a later date.
Whoa.
What?
Just fell over this tank. What are these guys?
Hello. So they're a dwarf acara. Again, they are pretty cool. Head hump dwarf acara. That'd be quite a cool little addition as well. I think they'll get decent size. Not huge like chunks, but you know, probably about that big. Bolivian rams as well. They might be a good little addition. Oh, we've got some little baby electric blue. Oh, they're rams. They're rams. Then I was going to say acaras. They're not. They're rams.
There's an Akara there.
No, they're all rams.
It's a ram. There's a ram there. That's an Akara. It's a ram.
So the difference between the rams and the acara is the dorsal fin that's got this like black tip to it.
Oh yeah.
And they don't get anything like as big either. Of course, we've got the nano section as well, which we haven't looked at for a while. The panchaks, though, will eat anything that's tiny, so we've got to be a little bit selective. Oh, Rio Sao Francisco Tetra. I've never seen those before. They're very nice. Look how deep that red
A bit
is.
like the cherry barbs. The candy floss.
Candy canes.
Candy canes.
I suppose, yeah, they do a little bit. I think the colour of the water's muting some of it. I think it's a lot more pinkish, but go into that deep red. They're quite nice, I like those. Ember Tetras, haven't had them for ages. They might be a good selection.
The colouring of those will look great in the tank as well.
Yeah, definitely. Then I've already obviously got angels, but who doesn't love angels? You can't have too many. We've got some really nice ones down here. We've got the redback Manicapura, which is cool. Look at that, see that red glow on the top of each one? They're very nice. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'm gonna make a selection, take them back to the studio, let them temperature acclimate, and then drop them in as, you know, one by one, so we can just like see them all individually. And I'm gonna get quite a good group. I really like a tank that's got lots of different things and going on and stuff to look at. I know it's not everyone's style. Some people quite like just like 1 or 2 species, but I just find a tank way more interesting when there's lots going on. So we've got some spotted orange finned Danios here. Now, I've had these before, well, I've still got some actually. They're in the plain tank currently, but they move so nicely and they really do like school really well in a long tank because they keep that movement going. One follows the other, look. Yeah, they're really nice. Movement is great, especially as a lot of others fish that I'm picking don't tend to school like that. I want some of them for sure. I'll tell you what though, I know I've done quite a few guppy things recently, but they're great for like top water area. And some of these look absolutely brilliant.
These are crazy looking.
Yeah, I know, yeah, they've got like extra long fins, or maybe it's just the coloration is making them look longer. We've got the red dragons here, this is what we've already got. Yeah. But we didn't get, remember we liked the golds? But we didn't get any of those either, but they look really nice. Oh, we'll definitely get some of those as well. I'm getting everything so far.
I need a pen and paper.
So I thought about getting some black mollies as well, just for a little bit of algae control, but Cheryl's quite right. Completely forgot that we'd just got the guppies, so...
Yeah, I think they'd be, I think they'd be a bit nippy.
Like, it's a big tank, and these aren't that big at the moment, so it might be all right now, but shouldn't really mix those, because they'll get a lot bigger than that one day.
They will.
I mean, I've seen mine, they can get like massive.
Well, they're going to get 10 centimetres, aren't they? So.
Yeah. And it's not like they can like swallow them, but it's the harassment, isn't it?
It's the harassment, and yeah, because there's such a fancy tail as well. Then
the golds.
Yeah.
We'll leave those. We'll leave those.
Sure?
There's no need. It was just as an option for a bit of background algae control, but there's plenty of other things we can do, you know, instead.
Alternative?
Oh yeah. Oh, we're nowhere near done.
Okay. Here we go.
Thank you very much, Cheryl.
You're very welcome.
See you in like a day, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Do you want to put them on the seat, on the baby seat?
I think they'll actually make it worse. We got the fishies, we got the fishies, we got the fishies. Keys. Nothing worse than when your keys are in the opposite pocket.
Oh, that happens to me every single time.
Smooth.
Nice.
Right, it's lunchtime. So I'm gonna temperature acclimate the fish in here. Turn the light off. So all the fish are from the same system, which has all been treated as we've seen and everything. This has effectively become a quarantine tank for them because there's nothing else in there. So we can just put them straight in after we've had some food because I'm so hungry. Let's do this. I've had some lunch, we're ready to go. I'm just gonna cut and release. I think that'd be quite nice. Do you wanna come around so you can sort of watch?
Sure thing, little lady.
Everything. Right, first up, neon green raspora. I'm not entirely sure how many we got here, but good little group.
Wonder if you've posted some.
They're good colours.
Yeah.
Look at that. The Chihiros lighting on this is going to make the colours of all of these fish look insane. Oh, this is going to be a fun tank, I can already tell. I'm going to go for the Ember Tetras next. So then we've got the green and the orange just like bursting with colour.
Like the bean and the snot rocket.
That's exactly right. A bit of fish food for them as well. Look at that, their colours will go even more vibrant. So you can see the males, they're just like glaring. Oh no.
What happened?
The bag just pulled up the wood.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Steph, you're in rock mode. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Good. This is what happens if there's a problem. Okay, Steph, you grab rocks and it should be fine. If I just get a rock down on here, we'll be good.
Everyone, stay calm.
Stay calm! All right. Whew. Just don't touch it. Next fish is going to be the orange spotted Danios. These are going to swim so cool.
Yeah, these caught my eye in the shop.
Ready? Ooh, nice bit of treatment as well. That'll be good.
Yeah.
Free treatment. Yeah, they can be a little shy to start with, but there's going to be enough fish in there that they're going to want to go everywhere. Look at the colours.
Yeah. Already the bean and the snot rocket are looking great.
Now, a nice collection of rummy nose tetra. Absolutely fantastic fish. And one of the best schoolers as well. Good number there.
Whoa, yeah.
This is going to be such a fun tank, I can already tell. Like when they start behaving a bit less like stuck to the edges, it's going to be brilliant. And when the Danios come back out. Next up, full gold guppies. Interesting to see how these are going to look under the light. Whoa!
Wow. Pearlescent.
Yeah, they're wicked.
Wow, look at their tails.
Yeah.
Well, look at the one with the red on it. Is that a male?
Yeah, that's the male. And then the other one that's like brighter coloured is the male, and the rest are females. Definitely get some babies. Likelihood of them surviving in here, not massive with the amount of like fish, fast fish as well, but if I see any babies, I can catch them and put them in other tanks. And last but not least, for now anyway, because I will be wanting to add some bottom dwellers and clean up crew to this tank later on, but it's no need right now. We've got the humphead dwarf cichlids. Now these stay rather small as well. Not as small as they are now, but they will stay small. Cool. Look at that. Gonna find their own little homes under there, look, and it's nice that they stick together straight away. A true pair.
Look at all this activity going on down here.
Yeah, that's gonna get better than that. At the moment, they're all down there. Oh, look, Daniels have come out now.
Where are they? Oh, yeah.
All in amongst them all, so safety in numbers sort of thing. Yay, fish highway. It's like F1. Guppy's currently doing what guppies do. Can't get to them, but they're all underneath the leaf in there. Hello, you can come out. It's the next day, tank looking crystal clear, and the fish are out and about everywhere, which is awesome. Given the amount of cover that they've got, it actually means that they come out more. So if you're finding that your fish are quite scared and hidey, put more stuff in it. It kind of makes them feel more comfortable. And speaking of putting stuff in it, we now want to take this next level and just really get that growth coming above the tank as well. So here, I've got a massive collection of terrestrial plants, technically, or house plants. We've got palms. We've got about 3 peace lilies, I think, as well. And I took this out of the paludarium for the archerfish when we broke it down, knowing that I'd be using it again. So it's all still together as one. And this tank's going to be rescaped soon anyway. So look at this. Look at this clump. That's all rooted together. So you can see here is above water roots, and as soon as they hit the water line, put all of these nice white ones out, and that's what gives it all the nutrients and water it needs. And now I can just place this one, I want it right in this middle section. Hopefully it actually locks the wood down and doesn't float again, but we'll see. Should be able to just sit quite neatly. It's gonna mess the water up a little bit. That looks amazing. Look, so the light's holding it up, which means we're not going to get it all growing and blocking it all. It'll keep growing upwards towards the light above us. But like, that looks like it's grown up out of there, doesn't it? It looks so good. And I definitely want one on the other side as well, in this section. And then we've got exactly what I was going for with this whole scape. Yeah, so before, obviously, we took out all the Anubias in there. It's now time to fully give the fish back their tank. This tank, for a long, long time, about 1.5 years, had no plants in it whatsoever, and has done fantastic in terms of like nitrates. The weird thing is this tank always does really well, even without plants growing out of it. There's so much mold and that in it now, but we can clean all that up after we've got this out. Look, that's barely in the water actually, so it'll be good to take it out. There we go. And that's a good size for what I need. So yeah, I want this on the other side. Hopefully I can get that in that gap. Oh, I can. I can indeed. Oh yes. Looks awesome. That's nuts. That is such a cool looking scape.
It's brought it together so much, hasn't it?
It just makes such a difference.
Yeah.
And so how do I prep these in case you guys want to do the same thing? Basically, you buy the house plant in like garden centres or wherever. You take the pot off and you just spray all of the soil off, just break it off first, and then get your hose out and just rinse it off so you're just left with the roots. Now, don't trim the roots. I found that if you cut them off and put them in, the plant takes a massive hit before it comes back again. If you leave the roots and try and hide them in rocks or hardscape, there's enough there for them to send out all the new little white runners. They draw up enough water, they don't sag or anything like that, and they just keep looking better and better and better as the days go on.
And it's a proven method to work.
Oh,
look. And look.
Yeah, so you can do Monstera, Pothos, peace lilies, palms. I'm sure there's way more
back there as well.
There's more back there. And this one was actually just an experiment that I got with Matt once when we went to IKEA. And I don't actually know what it is, but again, it still works. It's almost like, I think most plants will work.
I can tell you what that is.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, with your little special app.
Yep, my brain.
What's the app called, Steph?
It's called Picture This, and it is amazing. It's like, it's so clever. You just take a photo of a leaf.
Literally one leaf?
Yeah, or part of a plant, whether that's a flower, and it'll scan it, and then it'll come up. And it'll give you...
That is it, isn't it?
Yeah, and it'll tell you whether it looks sick, tells you whether it's considered weeds, and it works for garden plants, house plants, trees, everything.
Not aquatic plants though, does it?
I'll try it.
That's a good shout. Try and get a Java phone. It should know what a Java phone is.
I reckon it'll know what it is. A
Fish. If it gets this, floating crystal wart. It's because it's the Wendeloff. It's a different variety.
Right, let's try
the
this.
boost. If it gets boost, I don't think it'll get boost.
I think it will.
Really? Mind you, boost looks kind of similar when it's out of water as well, so. Yeah, we'll cut this part from the video.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with aquatic plants.
But anything terrestrial.
Yeah, that's helped
it's
us.
Like, it's anyone who's interested in plants, I highly recommend it. It's taught me so much.
I'm really pleased with how this one turned out, and I hope you have enjoyed it as well. It's a little bit of a different foreground to my usual style, but I think it works really well. I hope you've enjoyed the video and learnt a few things along the way. If you have, maybe give me a subscribe and I'll see you on the next one.